Hi everybody. Today is March 12th, 2022. Welcome to Jana's Crochet Journey. Today I have one finished object completely. I have a couple other finished objects that are a kale, so this portion is finished, but not the complete thing. And I have something in the works towards another craft show item. Welcome back to returning Yarny friends and new friends. It's always great to have new people to talk about your interests with because your family just doesn't care. Okay, so first things first. Sorry about the glare on my glasses now and then. I pulled the shade, messed with some lights. It is what it is. All right. First cal is with Christy from Crochet Creations by Christy. She is doing a Glorious Granny Square pattern by Fiber Spider. And I have finished Marches, believe it or not. I felt so overwhelmed when the month started because in the living room I have my spot and each thing seems to have a basket or a bag just full of the things that I'm working on, and I can barely get to my seat because they're all at my feet, and depending what I'm in the mood to work on, that's the project I grab. So after a while when I'm sitting there I'm like, oh my god. So anywho, so I did this and I was able to bring this basket back into the craft room where it will sit until April. So I have it in this. This was gifted to me by someone whose family member had passed away, and she had some yarn in it, and I thought it was, really cute. So I'm using it. So for my Glorious Granny Squares, I am using an I or a 5.5 millimeter hook. And let me put this down here so I'm not going all crazy. And for this square, so this is what I have left of my first cake of the Red Heart Super Saver in Grape Fizz. So this is what I have left, and I've gotten 2 squares out of this so far, and it was $236 yards. So that gave me 2 squares. This I will probably put in my scrap bin when I'm done, because like I figured I could get 2 squares of skein, so that'll be that. And then for this color around, I used Premier Basic Slate, and then I go around them with a half double crochet in purple. That will be every square. But the Grape Fizz and this Slate are the one color combo. Then I have the Craft Smart Value Orchard Mist Ombre with the big twist magenta outlined in purple. But if I'm only getting 2 squares of skein, I'm going to need some more ombre choices because it's not going to be enough. Because we're going to go until December. So anyways, this is my March. I'm going to hold it up a little close. You can see the posts go down. And then the slate. And then the purple. And I have enough purple that I will be joining in purple as well once they're all done. So I did notice on Christy's Facebook page where people post their squares, I feel like mine look similar because they're coming out of the same skein. And I have my other ones to show that yes, I am doing my squares. They're not, just the same one every month. So maybe next month I'll show all 4 at that point. But some people are really doing some good ideas where they're changing the colors out a little bit more, not being a complete continuous, so you can see that there's a difference. But I like this pattern, so I will probably do it again and maybe do the colors a little different. But I'm happy that March is finished. And like I said, today's the 12th. Tonight at 2 a.m. into Sunday, we set our clocks ahead. I don't know why we keep doing this daylight saving times thing. We're not farmers anymore, people. But anyways, so yes, 5.5. I leave the hook and everything right in the bag because I have reached the point where, thank goodness, I keep notes, because with working on multiple projects, I'm like, what hook was I using? And I've had to rip stuff out before because then I've realized I had the wrong hook. So the next kale I'm doing started March 1st with Crystal from Bag O' Day, doing the One Hat Wonder Sesame Street character squares. Every Tuesday she's putting out a new square. I only have Elmo done, which was the first one. The second one is the Count. I still need to watch the video, and I keep pausing it and taking my notes in a notebook. That I have to do today so that I can get that one done. But I will be behind a week or so. It's fine. I'm pretty sure this was the 6mm hook. I did not look back in my notebook, but I think it is. So this is my square, and I have to go back and super glue the head. All I did was take the stretchy, go through and tie it. But if someone is covering up with the blanket, it's prickly, sticking out, like you can feel it. So I'm probably going to cut that off and just super glue. That's what Crystal does. And she doesn't wash her items in the washer, and I will. So I don't know how the super glue will hold up because I wash colors in cold, but I guess we'll see if the heads end up falling off or whatever. But yeah, so this is my square. I was a bobble short right here. Jumps out at you like a sore thumb, but I didn't realize it till the next row. The next bobble row, and there was no way I was ripping all that out. So that's the character for this project. Is I'm down a bobble, but I made up for it in the stitch count around. It all still worked out. I'm missing a bobble, and that's fine. So again, I'll super glue his head down securely, and he is done. And I do have 3 or 4, well, total. Now I'll have 2 or 3 left, so that I could either recreate the same pattern or do something different. And I have this much left over. She said to hang on to your leftover pieces. We may use them towards the end. So I will just put this aside, put Elmo aside, and get started on the count. And she also has a Facebook page. I did not post the picture of my square on there yet. I just feel like, I'm kind of behind, so I didn't. But I do see that she posts things on there, people getting frustrated with the second square and stuff. So I just hope she doesn't not want to do Kale's anymore because of some of the people getting frustrated and a little negative. And Crystal's not all about that drama. So she just said have patience and wait till it's done and it will come together, people. Okay, the big finished object that I have is, I was working on a granny square blanket with appliques. I will try not to do appliques in the near future until I learn an easier way or something, because this was a pain in the booty. Let's just say that. But I am done. I was feeling like I was running short on my color, which was just a scrap yarn from like a mill-end bag. Originally I was going to try to go 4 squares across and 5 down, but I was getting nervous, so I just did the 4x4 and calling it done. Put the appliques on. I went around in a single crochet border, and I think this is, oh, I got a tail. All right, I got to weave in a tail. But this is the blanket. So let me see. So I kind of tried to leave things so that she can kind of fiddle around with stuff, so it would have some texture. And then there's the plain and flowers, again with the texture of the petals, plain. And then the rainbow, some hearts, and then another bow, some more flowers, and this bottom one I didn't alternate every other, because I ended up not doing the 4x5, so there's not much of an alternating in the last row, but it's whatever you want. Some balloons, cloud with raindrops, and then just the square with some texture. I did not measure it, but I just used the solid granny, added the appliques, single border, one time around, And that is it. So it's very soft. So now all I have to do is weave in my ends and, well, end, because I thought I did them all, and then put it in a gift bag and wait until April. I'm just glad that's done, because I was worried that with everything else going on I wasn't going to be able to do it. So stay focused, Jonna. The last thing I was working on was I am trying to have things in stash for a craft show at the end of July. So in between everything else, I've went through my patterns, printed some more patterns from Ravelry because they're free, a lot of them, so that I can work on these in between. This one is called Sunflower in the Sun Coaster by Lois Zuger. I might be saying that wrong, sorry. Again, free pattern. Oh, I did alter the yellow a little bit because it wanted you to do a picot stitch, which is fine. I have another sunflower that I also printed with a different petal, but in that, you know, it says what a picot stitch is. You chain 3, slip stitch into the first. But how this pattern goes, it just didn't look right. And I tried it a few times, was not happy with it. So when you attach the yellow, I went in the order that it said to do. I just minused that picot, and I still have to weave in my tails, but this is what I got based on my own take on the petals. And it's a country yellow, sugar and cream, yeah, country yellow. And this was just a mill end cotton brown. It's funny, when I went through all that cotton, I have no yellow. What? So I just thought it looked more vintagey with the brown and the country yellow, so I went with that. And you could stop at 4 rows, but she also gave you the count for 5 rows, 6 rows. I did 5 because I kept putting my cup on it, and I was like, 4s, I mean, it would be okay with the petals, but what if you have a bigger coffee mug, or if you wanted to put a soup cup mug on there, it would need to be bigger. So that's why I did 5 rows. And again, put this on. So I went ahead, made the other 3. So now I just have to put the petals on all 3, weave in my ends, and I will have another set of coasters towards the craft show. Into July, right before the craft show, I will go over everything I have at that point for the craft show, to kind of give everybody an idea of what I made, pricing it 3 times the amount, and then after the craft show I'll be like, okay, this is how I did, because this will be my first time, so I'm just going based off of other people's videos and just kind of winging it. So there's that. Now, oh, and I'm also using a 4mm hook for those sunflowers. Yeah. So for upcoming, I don't know if I'll show when I finish those coasters, because I didn't bring in the coasters from the previous video where I had one done but was working on the other 3. I think I'll just wait for that July video, because I showed you what one will look like and I don't want to bore you. So upcoming, need to do the Count square with crystal from Bag O' Day. I need to finish my mosaic. I have not put the second and third repeat in that pattern for March, but I'm doing good. I still got half a month left. I'm trying to think of what's sitting out there. I will start another craft show item, and I still have that baby sweater I want to finish, because I also want to, the pattern came with the hat, and I'll make a little pair of booties, and I had talked about even adding a blanket. Depending how things go, I may try selling that as well. We'll see. And then that blanket that I was commissioned to make with the windows, that's a slow work in progress. I have made progress on it. I'm thinking today, though, just to kind of wrap things up in my head, because I feel like I'm all over the place, I'll finish the sunflowers, watch Crystal's video, write the directions down for that, maybe just work on the window blanket the rest of the day to try to feel like I'm getting ahead on that. But yeah, that's about it, guys. Oh, and I will have some acquisitions coming, made some purchases, and yeah, that's all I got. I hope y'all are enjoying the snow and the cold and the wind if you got it like we did here in Western New York. But then it's going to be 60s by the end of next week, so it's all good. Have a happy St. Patrick's Day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Go to bed early to make up that hour's sleep you're going to be missing. And we'll see you next time. Bye.